Welcome to the MindSpark. The United States is dramatically expanding its military presence in the Philippines, marking a major strategic realignment in the Indo-Pacific. Revitalizing Subic Bay, once the largest American overseas naval base, signals a new chapter in the U.S.-Philippines alliance. This move is a direct response to rising regional tensions, reaffirming America's commitment to its allies and a free, open Indo-Pacific. For the Philippines, it means a vital boost to defense capabilities and a powerful deterrent in the South China Sea. For the U.S., it reestablishes a critical foothold at a vital maritime crossroads, enabling faster crisis response and power projection. The partnership is rooted in decades of shared history and values, now evolving to meet new threats. Subic Bay's revival is a tangible symbol of this renewed commitment. The decision has drawn mixed reactions. U.S. allies welcome the move, while China sees it as a challenge to its ambitions. The South China Sea is more crowded and contested than ever, raising the stakes for all involved. This bold step is reshaping Asia's future and the regional balance of power. The world is watching as the U.S. and Philippines deepen their security partnership. The alliance is now a cornerstone of regional security architecture. This collaboration is designed to be flexible, adapting to emerging threats. The return to Subic Bay is a promise of mutual defense made real through action. The region faces a more complex and potentially volatile dynamic. The outcome of this move will define the Indo-Pacific's future. Subic Bay's strategic value has shaped its history for centuries. The Spanish first established a naval station here, drawn by its deep, protected harbor. After the Spanish-American War, the U.S. transformed Subic Bay into a major ship repair and supply facility. Over decades, it became a cornerstone of American power in the Pacific, supporting conflicts from World War II to Vietnam. Subic Bay was more than a base, it was a city, with its own infrastructure and community. Its location allowed the U.S. to project power across the Western Pacific. In 1991, Philippine nationalism led to the Senate rejecting a treaty to extend the U.S. lease. By 1992, the last American forces left, ending an era. The Philippine government converted the base into the Subic Bay Freeport Zone, sparking economic growth. Now, history comes full circle as the Philippines invites the U.S. back, not for permanent bases, but for rotational deployments. This new model of cooperation reflects today's geopolitical realities. Subic Bay's deep harbor, once home to battleships, now supports a modern alliance. The focus is on regional defense and stability, not occupation. The transformation of Subic Bay mirrors the Philippines' journey from colony to independent nation. The return of U.S. forces is pragmatic, not nostalgic. The alliance is about adapting to new threats, not reliving the past. Subic Bay stands ready for a new era of partnership. China's rapid military modernization has reshaped the Indo-Pacific. Its navy now boasts aircraft carriers, advanced destroyers, and a growing submarine fleet. China claims nearly the entire South China Sea, overlapping with the exclusive economic zones of neighbors like the Philippines. Massive land reclamation has turned reefs into fortified islands, extending China's reach. These militarized outposts project power and enforce territorial claims, raising alarms across the region. For the Philippines, China's actions threaten sovereignty and vital resources, fish, oil, and gas. China's gray zone tactics, harassment by Coast Guard and militias, keep tensions high. The Philippines, finding diplomacy insufficient, seeks stronger security partnerships. The renewed U.S. alliance is a direct response to China's growing power. Reality for Filipino sailors and fishers. Scarborough Shoal and Second Thomas Shoal are flashpoints with Chinese vessels blocking Filipino access and harassing supply missions. The Philippines maintains a symbolic outpost at Second Thomas Shoal, despite constant Chinese pressure. China's strategy is to intimidate and wear down Filipino resolve, operating in a gray zone to avoid open conflict. Despite being outmatched, the Philippines documents and publicizes these incidents, rallying international support. Filipino crews show courage and professionalism, refusing to abandon their sovereign rights. Their defiance underscores the urgent need for stronger alliances. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, is the backbone of the renewed U.S.-Philippines partnership. Signed in 2014, EDCA allows U.S. forces rotational access to Philippine bases, no permanent bases, but strategic presence. The U.S. can pre-position equipment and build facilities, enabling rapid response to crises and joint training. For the Philippines, EDCA means modernized military infrastructure and direct support for its armed forces. U.S. funding upgrades runways, barracks, and depots, boosting Philippine capabilities. The presence of U.S. forces deters aggression and strengthens the Philippines' hand in regional disputes. EDCA's implementation has accelerated as tensions rise, with more sites added for strategic coverage. Subic Bay is now a hub for joint operations and logistics. The agreement deepens interoperability, ensuring both militaries can operate seamlessly together. EDCA is a flexible, modern framework for 21st century security challenges. It turns the promise of mutual defense into practical reality. The alliance is about more than hardware, it's about shared commitment. EDCA is a testament to the evolving partnership. Together, the US and Philippines are building a stronger, more resilient defense posture, sign of the US-Philippines alliance. Balikatan, Tagalog for shoulder to shoulder, involves thousands of troops in complex, realistic scenarios. Recent drills focus on maritime defense, island retaking, and countering threats in the South China Sea. Exercises now take place near contested waters, sending a clear message of readiness. Balikatan isn't just about combat, it includes humanitarian and disaster relief training, vital for a disaster-prone Philippines. Troops work together on aid delivery, search and rescue, and community projects. These exercises build trust, skills, and personal bonds between American and Filipino forces. The alliance is strengthened not just by shared strategy, but by camaraderie. When crisis strikes, these relationships ensure effective, united action. Balikatan reaffirms the commitment to stand together for a secure future. The expanded U.S. presence in the Philippines is shifting Asia's balance of power. China's rise once left smaller nations feeling isolated, but the U.S.-Philippines alliance changes the equation. It reassures allies and emboldens Southeast Asian states to defend their rights. The partnership creates a more balanced, multipolar security environment. The Philippines' location is critical for both the South China Sea and Taiwan's security. U.S. access to northern Philippine bases enhances deterrence in the Taiwan Strait. This realignment links Southeast and Northeast Asian security, building regional resilience. The risks are real, Beijing warns of instability, but inaction is seen as riskier. A strong deterrent is viewed as the best path to peace and stability. The U.S. alliance is transforming the Philippines into a proactive security player. Once focused on internal threats, the country now takes a leadership role in ASEAN and the Indo-Pacific. The partnership is about building a modern, self-reliant defense force, not just deterring China. Joint training and technology transfer are modernizing the armed forces of the Philippines across all domains. A stronger Philippines can better patrol its waters, respond to disasters, and contribute to peacekeeping. The alliance is flexible, adapting to new threats and challenges. It's a dynamic 21st century partnership built on shared interests and international law. The return of U.S. forces marks a pivotal moment for Asia's security. This partnership is reshaping the region's strategic calculus. As the Philippines stands shoulder to shoulder with the U.S., it helps ensure the Indo-Pacific remains open and secure for all. The U.S. return to Subic Bay has sent ripples across Southeast Asia. ASEAN nations are watching closely, weighing the implications for their own security and sovereignty. Some, like Vietnam and Indonesia, have welcomed the renewed American presence, seeing it as a counterbalance to China's growing assertiveness. Their leaders have issued diplomatic statements, emphasizing the importance of freedom of navigation and adherence to international law in the South China Sea. Pause 1s. Meanwhile, joint military exercises are on the rise. Multilateral drills such as Carrot and Komodo now include more participants, signaling a new era of cooperation. Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand are recalibrating their defense strategies, exploring closer ties with both the US and each other to enhance maritime security. Pause 1s. Not all responses are enthusiastic. Some ASEAN members, wary of escalating tensions, call for restraint and dialogue. They stress ASEAN's centrality in regional security, urging all powers, old and new, to respect the group's unity and neutrality. Pause 1s. As alliances subtly shift and defense doctrines evolve, one thing is clear: the renewed US-Philippine partnership is reshaping the region's security landscape. The coming years will test ASEAN's ability to navigate these changing tides while maintaining peace, stability, and its own collective voice. Beyond military maneuvers and regional diplomacy, the U.S. return to Subic Bay is making waves much closer to home, within the local Filipino communities surrounding the former base. For many residents, the American presence brings the promise of new opportunities. Jobs are being created not just within the base, but also in supporting industries, construction, logistics, hospitality, and retail. Local businesses are seeing increased demand, and new infrastructure projects are sprouting up, from upgraded roads to expanded ports, all fueling economic growth. Pause 1s. Yet, this economic boom is not without controversy. Some community members voice concerns over rising living costs, displacement, and the potential for cultural shifts. Environmental groups warn about increased pollution and strain on local resources. Protests, though not widespread, have emerged, with activists demanding greater transparency and more equitable distribution of benefits. Pause 1s. Still, for many families, the renewed partnership represents hope, a chance for employment, education, and a brighter future. As Subic Bay transforms once again, the challenge ahead will be balancing economic gains with social and environmental responsibility, ensuring that the benefits of this new era are shared by all. As Subic Bay bustles with renewed activity, the horizon beyond its shores remains uncertain. The evolving US-China dynamic in the Indo-Pacific stands at a crossroads, one path marked by confrontation, the other by cooperation. In one scenario, tensions escalate, military posturing intensifies, naval incidents multiply, and the South China Sea becomes a flashpoint for broader conflict. In this world, the Philippines finds itself on the front lines, not just as a host for US forces, but as a crucial player in regional deterrence. Its choices, alliances, and diplomacy could tip the balance between peace and instability. Yet, another future is possible. Here, dialogue prevails over discord. The US and China find common ground, driven by shared economic interests and the urgent need to address global challenges like climate change. The Philippines, leveraging its strategic position and deepening ties with both powers, emerges as a bridge for cooperation, championing ASEAN-led initiatives, promoting maritime security, and fostering multilateral solutions. For the people of Subic Bay and the wider region, the stakes are high. The decisions made today, by leaders in Manila, Washington, and Beijing, will shape not only the fate of the Indo-Pacific, but also the lives and livelihoods of millions. As history unfolds, the Philippines stands ready to help chart a course towards stability, prosperity, and peace.